Hello everyone. Morgan here. So today I want to talk about kind of the unrest that we've seen happen. Now, first I want to say that one of my most popular videos right now is the video that I did last year, is almost a year ago, about how to be prepared for civil unrest. And I don't know, I must have had some psychic intuition there or something, because it was several months later that there was some major civil unrest happening. And so, that's been one of my most popular videos lately. That and martial law, and then the best canned food. So anyway, and then, I appreciate the amount of preppers that are coming here, and the amount of even just people who aren't preppers yet. Okay, I appreciate that you guys are coming here and at least learning. What am I supposed to do? Because people seeking out these videos, they're seeking out these videos because they didn't see it when it first came out, but they're interested now because they see what's going on and they're not sure how to act towards this. Okay, so I'm going to put a link down below because it's a very straightforward information based, has nothing to do with anything going on right now. It's totally unbiased to anything, and I think has some good tips. I don't mean to toot my own horn, that I think it has some good tips. So anyway, I do want to talk about what is currently happening at the time of making this video, September 2020. So a lot of people have said we are in the middle of a civil war right now. I wouldn't really call this a civil war. Now, what I do see happening, I see so much division happening in this country right now. Now, a lot of people, are throwing out conspiracy theories. They're throwing out, theories, whether they're conspiracy theories or not. They're just throwing out theories of why they think these things are happening, why, there's so much unrest. Now, here's kind of what I'm seeing. Social media, first of all, is certainly driving a lot of this unrest. You cannot deny that. Social media fuels that anger and that emotion and that just hatred towards whatever, right? Because what social media is doing and what the news is doing, not just social media, but the news stations are doing, they're cherry picking one or two little pieces and they are just blowing it up, okay? And I've talked about this in my misinformation video, but they are just blowing up these events that are extreme events. They absolutely are. We seem to be seeing a lot more protests and riots and things like that because there are. But does that mean that every single protest is turning into a riot? No, not at all. There are a lot of protests that are still happening that aren't turning into anything other than it's just a protest, right? Protests happen all the time, every single year, okay? But they aren't turning into the riots that we're seeing this year. Something is happening somewhere in which people are getting fed up, or they're holding demonstrations or whatever the case may be, okay? There have been consistent protests. Now, that's true. I've definitely seen, since the pandemic, more consistent protests, okay? There's been more consistent protests that have turned into consistent, some type of rioting or destruction or something like that, okay? So there definitely has been that kind of consistency and more of it. We're seeing... it's not just happening, every once in a while. It's happening every week now, at least, and then in some places it is just like continued on. Like Portland has been like almost nonstop protesting and rioting, and it's been insane there. People say, oh, this is such a safe place. I don't know where they're living. I also hear from people who are living in Portland being like, this place is crazy, get me out of here. So I guess there's both sides of the spectrum there. I'm not really sure. Unless you live somewhere, I guess we can't really say, exactly what is happening, but we can only say what's happening based on what we're seeing. So we do need, some of that insider intel as well. Also, emotions are just being fueled, they're being fueled from so many directions because our society is being divided. It's being divided. If you don't like this person, then well, F you, I don't like you, okay? If you say that Black lives don't matter, well, then you're the enemy. If you say that all lives matter, you're the enemy. If you're not wearing a mask, you're the enemy. If you're wearing a mask, you're the enemy. It's always like this such extreme. If you're voting for Trump, you're the enemy. Okay, if you vote Democrat, you're the enemy. And it's just so. If you're not a prepper, you're the enemy. I mean, this is how we're thinking now. This is how society has now formed. It's, if you're not on my side, whatever my side is, then you're against me and you're my enemy. Okay? It's not so black and white like that. Okay? But that is what the social media and news and just everything that has happened this year, making it out to be that it's supposed to be. We're supposed to be the enemies. We're supposed to be divided. Everybody is so fueled. Everybody is so pumped up. Everybody's so fired up.
An idiot.
It doesn't matter which way it goes. There's gonna be chaos. There's gonna be some type of unrest. And it could be, for like a couple days, could be for a few weeks. It could linger for several months. I mean, look at what's been happening during this entire pandemic time. I mean, ever since it was announced pandemic, people have been, protesting the lockdowns. They've been protesting masks. They've been protesting Black Lives Matter. They've been protesting police. They've been protesting bus stops. I do think that there's a lot of unrest. I think that there's a lot of people who are feeling emotional. I think there's a lot of people who are feeling unheard. I think that there's a lot of changes that people want to see that aren't happening. I think that there's a lot of craziness going on, absolutely. And I think that people are just getting fed up with one thing or another. But this is why we need to see all of this for what it is, but we do need to understand that things could certainly get worse, and we need to really focus on our preps. I say this all the time. I feel like kind of like a little broken record almost. We need to focus on those preps, do what you feel you got to do for your preparedness, increase your security, increase your self-defense, and increase your gathering of intel and your intelligence. Check your plans, check your inventory, make sure that you have the necessary stuff so that, if you need to, stay in your home for a while, bug in for a while, you would be okay. If you need to bug out, you would be able to bug out. And where would you go? That kind of thing, like really solidify your plans now and solidify your actions and kind of try to solidify your preps as best as you can. Even just a couple weeks worth of preps is going to be better than nothing, okay? Don't feel like you have to have like 6 months to a year's worth of preps, okay? Just try to, increase it just a little bit. If you had a week, get to 2 weeks, right? If you had 2 weeks, maybe get to 3 weeks. Don't stress, but I'm just saying, try to focus a little bit more on kind of weak areas in your preparedness. That's kind of the main point I'm getting at here. Really look at the weak points in your preparedness. Look at the weak points in your skills. Really increase those skills. Look at the weak points of your community. Look at the weak points of your bug out and your bug in plans, and taking care of your morale. Look at the weak points of your physical wellness and your mental wellness and your just overall wellness, and it'll all make a difference. All right, well, that's my thoughts on what is happening right now with all of the unrest. I don't think we're on any civil war or anything like that, but there's certainly a lot of unrest happening right now, and people are very clearly showing it. Just stay safe. Try to stay away from any planned protests. They could very quickly and easily turn into riots in a very dangerous situation. So I would just try to steer clear if you can. But at some point, it's like, how far are we going to be pushed? You know, how far are we going to let people destroy our communities, destroy our businesses, and destroy our homes? How long are we going to let this go? You know, that's kind of the ultimate question here. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Conquer tomorrow by preparing today. I will talk to y'all later. Bye.